Hi guys, John here from the British Academy of Krav Maga. So I'm just going to run through some self-defense theory with you today. More about the basics, so very relevant to those of you who might be thinking of doing our 3-day intensive course or the self-defense instructor, the 5-day self-defense instructor. So what I'd like to outline to you is essentially the difference between self-defense and martial arts. So if we think of this as a continuum, we would start off with what I call PSA. PSA being personal safety and awareness, and then as a continuum we move into self-defense. And then if we move further down the line, we move into what I call hand-to-hand. Okay, so if I was delivering a self-defense course, it'd be pretty remiss of me to go straight into high-level hand-to-hand techniques where the skill acquisition needs to be really high and the practice needs to be to a high level as well. So your hand-to-hand stuff is things like your traditional martial arts, let's say. Now that doesn't detract from the fact that you're going to be very good at taking care of yourself if you get to a reasonable level here. But really, if we're talking about self-defense, then we should be starting down here at the personal safety and awareness level. So you shouldn't have got into that situation in the first place, and you should have recognised that you were in a threat situation and did what you could do to actually extricate yourself from that situation as quickly as possible. Moving down the continuum, let's say, so I get to my self-defense section. So these are my self-defense techniques. My self-defense techniques are really there to get me out of the situation as quickly as possible. I don't want to be in a protracted situation as I would with hand-to-hand, or let's say I try to avoid being in a protracted situation because my skill set down here is not as high as it is up here. And of course we're all obviously being influenced by other things here. If I'm in the dojo, we touch gloves, tap hands, whatever it is. Even in competition, there are certain rules and regulations here. I can invest in loss, whereas in self-defense situations, basically we're talking about worst case scenario, and we don't know whether we're dealing with one person, several persons, etc. So therein lies the paradox. When we're teaching a self-defense course or self-defense classes, we always have to keep this continuum in mind. Why can I avoid that situation? How did I manage to get into this situation in the first place? If I am in this situation, how can I get myself out of this situation as quickly as possible? I hope that makes sense to you. Okay, bye for now.